So I'm recording in my little sister's room right now because my grandpa's been sleeping in mine because he fell and hurt himself, but he's okay. So it's okay. Um Also we got the new mic working and I figured out how to work it. So that's awesome. I'm hoping it's good. I haven't listened to it yet. I haven't listened to it yet. It was like a $60 mic, so it better work. If not, I will literally cry. Okay? I'm gonna move it a little bit closer. See if that. Okay. I'm not sure if it's loud enough. Okay, it's fine if it's not loud enough. I will fix it later. Anyway, I got. So if like you hear any like weird background noises that aren't my bird, that's why, is because there's like a heater in here and there's a fan and it's a new room. So, yeah. I'm recording right now because I have today and tomorrow off and I actually have time to like record everything. So we're recording this. It is the 3rd of February as I record this. It's probably going to go up around like I don't know, probably around next Tuesday. I will look. I don't know yet when it's going up, but it'll probably go up around the 10th or 11th, which is the day I get paid the 10th. Yay. I'll have money. I have no money right now. Anyway, Oracle Week, Chapter 11. My habits, they hold me like a grudge. Inko had originally gone into protection out of desperation that Izuku was still alive. She could still work, still maintain her social life, but she had a hero or officer watch her at all times, whenever she went out. Today, she was going to the Bakugou household to wish their son good luck on the entrance exam that was up and coming. The officer nodded as they got to the door, and Inko knocked. Mitsuki opened the door, brightening up at Inko's shaky smile. Inko, glad to see you could make it. Inko nodded, walking in and taking her shoes off. Mitsuki left to go finish making dinner. Masaru was helping her out, and Katsuki was nowhere to be seen. She went to walk into the kitchen before a hand was placed on her wrist from behind her. Uh, Auntie, do you think we could talk? Katsuki stood there, a serious look on his face. Inko nodded and let the boy lead her to his room, where he shut the door and sat down on his bed with a sigh. So, what do you want to talk about? Inko started worriedly. It hurt to see her child's best friend in such a state. I'm so fucking sorry. I'm the reason he's dead, and Auntie, I'm a terrible person. Tears started to pour down his face as he shook violently. Inko stood there in disbelief. I broke him, Auntie. I thought he couldn't break, and I beat him down again and again. And those bastards encouraged me, all because I have a heroic quirk. Explosions started to pop in his hands, and he hung his head. His lap was stained with tears, and Inko took in the state of the room. It looked like it hadn't been cleaned in months. There were scorch marks on the walls. A framed photo of Katsuki and Izuku, 4 years old, smiling brightly in front of a limited edition All Might figure, was the only thing that was left untouched. It was a horrible parallel to what her room looked like at the place she was staying. She couldn't find anything to say. The last time I saw him was when I told him to kill himself. I'm the reason he's dead, Auntie. I killed him. I'm a terrible person. I shouldn't be allowed to be a hero. Katsuki gripped his thighs with more vigor than seemingly possible, and Inko heard pops from her palms. Her eyes widened when she realized what was happening, and she quickly strode forward and wrenched Katsuki's hands from his thighs. On his upper leg was what looked like a stab wound from months ago. The jeans he was wearing were burnt through, and he had slightly singed his skin. Look, I'm pathetic, he mumbled. Katsuki, calm down, Inko begged. Begged. God, she was so pathetic. Begging the kid who apparently suicide baited her son to stop hurting himself because she couldn't stop her son from hurting anymore. The boy to stop. You aren't thinking straight. It's okay. Are you saying I didn't do that shit, Auntie? Do you fucking forgive me? Katsuki stood up, wobbling slightly as tears streamed down his face. Of course, I don't think you didn't do that, and of course, I don't forgive you, Inko said sternly, and Katsuki stilled. But I know you aren't fully responsible. That entire damn school is the most at fault for pushing you to do that. You're a victim too, just nowhere near as much as Izuku was. He wanted to go to UA, you know. Katsuki gave a bitter laugh after a pregnant silence. The nerd probably would have gotten in, if I'm being honest. He was training ever since he was told he was quirkless, wanting every advantage he could get. He could probably deadlift a car if he needed to. You said he wanted to go to UA, right? Inko asked sternly. Yeah, he deserved a place more than me, if I'm being honest. Katsuki dropped down onto the bed roughly. It's weird. You never realize how good someone is until they aren't there anymore. He would have been the first quirkless hero. Go to UA in his stead, Inko decided. You go to that entrance exam and you kick its ass. And you become the best damn hero, not for yourself, but for Izuku. Katsuki's eyes widened and huffed out a sharp breath that could count as a laugh. Of course, Auntie. Inko nodded and went to walk out. Before she could leave, she was interrupted by Katsuki again. Also, Auntie, I'm sorry. If I could take it back, I would. Don't apologize with your words, Katsuki. Apologize with your actions. I hope that one day I can forgive you for what you did. Inko left the room and walked downstairs, leaving Katsuki to change into new pants and consider their talk. Here Hitoshi was. The entrance exam. His dream was right in front of him. His one-way ticket to the hero course. He was running on a rare 8 hours of sleep and felt like he was on cloud nine. He was ready to become a hero and nothing would stop him. Hey dude, I lost my phone number. Can I have yours? Hitoshi turned at the admittedly terrible pickup line to see a blonde boy smiling brightly. He had a black lightning bolt pattern in his hair and was wearing a black choker with a white t-shirt. Hitoshi was so caught up in looking at the boy he didn't even realize he was still walking until he tripped. He fell backwards before the blonde's hand jolted out to grab him by the hem of his shirt. His cheeks were dusted slightly pink as he smiled cheerfully. Shit, dude. I only meant to sweep you off your feet figuratively, not literally. My bad. It's fine, Hitoshi mumbled, embarrassed. So much for nothing stopping him. Might as well try to be friendly then. I'm Shinso Hitoshi. What's your name? My first name's Denki, but I forgot my last time. Could I have yours? The boy, Denki, said cheerfully. Hitoshi raised an eyebrow, smirking slightly at the attempts to flirt. After a moment of silence, he gave a dramatic sigh. Ah, alas, I have been rejected again. Maybe next time I'll be able to get someone half as beautiful as you. Are you just gonna leave me hanging by my shirt and keep flirting with me? 'Cause I've kinda got a hero exam to take. Hitoshi said awkwardly. Denki's eyes widened and he pulled up the boy back to his feet and dragged him along by his bicep. That starts in like 5 minutes. Crap, we've gotta hurry. Hitoshi willingly let himself be dragged along by the cute boy. Shut the hell up, Brain. You have an exam to take. Stop being gay, he thought to himself silently. Shut the hell up, Brain. You have an exam to take. Stop being gay, he thought to himself, and up to the exam room. Genki whispered good luck to him as they sat down and the exams were handed out. After about an hour and a half, he finished and handed the exam to the proctor. The exam was, relatively speaking, decently easy. Compared to the shit Izuku would mumble to himself when drawing up blueprints, it felt like explaining the theory of why the toaster was called a toaster. Easy stuff, probably. Unless it all went over his head. Hitoshi promptly spent the next hour and a half worrying about how he did on the written exam, as everyone else's tests slowly trickled in. After that, they went to an area where President Mike was, who explained the physical test. They all got changed into workout clothes. Some dude with spiky blonde hair was asked why he had a stab wound, and said dude shouted at the kid who asked about minding his own business. Hitoshi couldn't help but silently agree as he slipped on a t-shirt, unbothered by the chills of February. The group assigned to Ground Delta went up to the starting line, waiting for the signal to go. President Mike shouted over the microphone, "Go!" And Hitoshi was off without looking back. From the beginning, he could hear President Mike saying, "What, you think there's not going to be a countdown in real life? Newsflash, kiddos, there's not!" Hitoshi only needed to kill a shit ton of robots with a non-physical quirk, with only the clothes on his back. This shit was so biased, Hitoshi sighed internally as he ran towards the first robot. Biased or not, he would pass the exam. He can, no, will, become a hero. Chapter 12. I promise I won't budge. Shinso does the physical exam and is gay for one very cool Pikachu. 5 minutes into the exam, 5 minutes remaining. Hitoshi had 26 points and he felt like he could collapse any minute now. He had to keep going though, he couldn't give up. He ran up to a 2-pointer, about to stab a large chunk of scrap metal into the front of it before it was destroyed by a large explosion produced by a kid. Said kid left as soon as the robot was destroyed, looking after more prey. Hitoshi sighed to himself, looking for more robots. At one point, he saw the blonde boy who was flirting with him electrocute an entire robot and shoot finger guns at him. He ran around the false city, eventually coming up to a kid facing off against 3 different 3-point robots. He was clearly outmatched. The kid was laying on the ground, about to pass out. One of the 3-pointers approached the kid, and Hitoshi sprinted. He kicked off the side of the building, landing on top of the 3-pointer, and dug the sharp scrap metal he had in his hands into the robot, destroying it. He leapt from one robot carcass to the next, killing them as he went. After all 3 robots were destroyed, Hitoshi ran off to search for more prey. 35 points and a few minutes left, he thought. After running around a bit longer, he came out to a main road to be immediately clotheslined by some random kid sprinting the other way. The kid didn't even say anything as he scrambled up and ran away. Hitoshi turned around and saw the source of fear, a gargantuan robot that towered above the buildings. The 0-pointer. Hitoshi was about to run away before he saw movement by some rumble. He squinted closer to see a boy with black hair and rounded elbows stuck underneath some rubble. The 0-pointer was about a minute away from him at the speed it was walking at. Hitoshi dashed towards the kid, hoping to think of a plan before the 0-pointer crushed him. As he arrived, he knelt next to the kid. "Hey kid, can you get out?" Hitoshi tried lifting the rock, but it was too heavy. "Nah, dude. It fell and broke my arm. Just run, I'll be fine." The kid shot him a strained smile, and Hitoshi shook his head. "No can do. What's your quirk?" "My elbows are tape dispensers," the kid said. Hitoshi had a plan forming in his head. Whether it would work was a totally different question. Alright, I need about 100 feet of tape as soon as possible. The other kid nodded at the order and started to shoot out tape rapidly. Hitoshi grabbed a relatively heavy rock and started to tie the tape around it. Okay, just sit tight, I've got this. Hitoshi got the bundled tape and wrapped around his arm like a rope and threw the rock up to the zero pointer. It managed to wrap around one of his arms, and Hitoshi started to rapidly climb the tape. When he got up to the top of the zero pointer, it looked like it was about 15 seconds from crushing the tape boy. Now, if only he could think of a plan within the next 15 seconds to stop this thing. The wind whipped through his hair as he thought. How the hell do I take down a skyscraper-sized robot with nothing but a sharp piece of metal? He looked to the ground and saw the familiar blond boy standing, staring at him wide-eyed. He got an idea. "Denki!" he shouted at the top of his lungs. The blonde startled slightly, and Hitoshi took that as a sign he could hear him. "I need you to electrocute the wire I send down with as much force as possible." Hitoshi turned around and grabbed the metal plate in his hands and slammed the sharp side down as hard as possible into the roof of the machine. He grabbed a wire and threw it down, the wire tumbling down and landing about 5 feet above the ground. They only had a few seconds before the tape kid was crushed. They wouldn't make it. The blonde jumped off a pile of rubble, grabbed the wire, and sent as much electricity as he could muster. Hitoshi barely had enough time to get away from the exposed circuitry before electricity was barreling through the wires, narrowly avoiding an explosion from inside the robot. It stilled, and Hitoshi let out a sigh. He slowly slid down the tape, noting the blond boy looked like his mind was fried, why was Hitoshi thinking about how kinda cute? What the fuck, brain? And went over to the boy with the tape quirk. He knelt down at the boy's side, who gave him a shaky smile. "Hey, dude, you okay?" Hitoshi asked the boy. "Pretty sure my leg is broken, and I won't pass the exam, but other than that, I'm dandy. How are you?" "Running solely on adrenaline. I'll try and help you out now that impending doom isn't marching toward us." Hitoshi tried to lift the cement block, but to no success. "Okay, maybe when the exam is over, one of the..." Hitoshi's sentence was interrupted by President Mike's voice shouting, "Time's up, listeners! UA's certified robots will be coming around and bringing in anyone who is gravely injured or severely maimed, so don't worry about that." Who the hell was severely maimed? Hitoshi asked nobody in particular. The entire staff room was silent. They were all staring at the camera where their zero pointer was. This 15-year-old child had just taken down a robot the size of a skyscraper. Quirkless. The first one to break the silence was Aizawa. "I think we found Oracle's recommendation student." "Oh, you think?" Mike spun around on his chair, his voice raised. "That kid's insane, Joe. You're training him. I don't care what you say. That kid's gonna learn how to use a capture scarf." "Already planning on it," Aizawa mumbled fondly. Netsu hummed in agreement, thinking of all the possibilities. Oracle's recommendation student. Already friends with several other students? Aizawa was going to have an absolute field day with teaching someone like him. "So, we all agree that those three passed. They all had some points to begin with and worked together to defeat the zero-pointer," Midnight asked Nezu. The rat merely nodded in agreement, a feral smile crossing his face. "Shinso Hitoshi, huh? I wonder if he can get me in contact with Oracle." Shinso waited with anticipation for Izuku to get home. The boy had gone to the post office to get the, hopefully, acceptance letter from the P.O. box they set up, and was set to return any minute now. Moments later, Izuku kicked open the door to the room he was in. "Sorry I'm late. I had to harass some thug on my way back. Here's the letter."
He chucked the letter to Hitoshi, who caught it and promptly tore it open. A small metal device landed on the coffee table. From the device, a holographic All Might appeared. Oh god. Does he even have a teaching license? Izuku protested before anything could be said. I am here as a holographic image. Young Shinso, you performed phenomenally on the written exam, being within the top 5 percentile of students who have taken the test in the past 20 years. You did leagues better than I did when I was a student. Izuku high-fived Hitoshi at the news, and they both smirked. As for the physical exam, you got 35 villain points. Normally, this would not be enough to pass. However, there is a secret type of point called rescue points. The more people you rescue, the harder the rescue situation is, the more points you get. You receive 64 rescue points, raising your total to 99 points total, the highest score in the exam. So, young Shinso, it is a great pleasure that I welcome you. If nobody, if If both the brainwasher and the vigilante in the room had tears in their eyes, that was nobody's business but their own. Welcome to Your Hero Academia. Ah, and that's the end of the pre-UA arc. We are 12 chapters in. It is fun. We're about halfway through the story now. At least halfway through this one. It was fun. I had to re-record all, like, the entire ending of chapter 11 because my little sister came in and tried to record with me yesterday, so I had to stop. So I've told you guys about how Jazz and I are gonna do a podcast together, right? It's called Daily Dose, and at first it's only gonna be a weekly thing, hopefully, and then we'll go to daily once we get a hold of that and once we get the apartment and move in together. But it's fun. We were recording last night, and like I had us recording as we like got everything for the introduction figured out and everything. Like I had it recording because I don't know, maybe something fun would happen, and it would be like a great like blooper moment or something like that, because we love bloopers. We really do love bloopers in this house. It's fun. And as we're recording, I had my phone on and I had the GhostTube app open, which having that playing was really funny because it got like a bunch of like. It was also really sad sometimes. It made me sad at least. And so we got a bunch, but we were talking about how the opening was gonna go, and we decided on it gonna be music. And then if you're like watching the YouTube video, we put up, then the opening is gonna be this like it's gonna be this like sunset night sky thing, or like the sky getting darker on one side, away from the sunset, you won't see the sunset, and then clouds coming up and stars appearing, and then there's gonna be fireflies coming in, and we were talking about that, and uh, Jazz said something, and the first response was, "We command it" from the GhostTube app, and we decided, okay, if the ghost commands it, it's fine. And like, my phone was about to die. We did not put it on the charger and didn't think about it, so it wasn't charging. And so as it starts to die, we hear, "I want to come," and then my phone dies. And for like a good few seconds, it was just complete silence. And then we both look over at my phone. And it was so funny. But the weird thing is, Kay, there was no crackling in that audio mostly. There was a little bit of crackling here and there when I got too loud, but not enough. And then this happened, and anytime we tried to repeat what the ghost had said, or what we thought the ghost had said, because we thought it had said, "I like to come," because we didn't get to like see the captions, but it said, "We want to come," or "I want to come." And so we thought it said, "I like to come." And so anytime I said, "I like to come," after that, it like crackled and distorted, which was really weird. But yeah, so that's now gonna be in like the bloopers because it was funny as fuck. Okay. I think this is almost 30 minutes long, I think. I don't know. This is like the longest episode other than like the one shots I've put up. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Oh yeah, Go give kudos to the fic. Even though you can't like praise the author, you can still praise and read the fic. It's a really good fic, and you guys should read it. Okay, now goodbye.
Okay, so one more thing before I actually let you guys go because I am so excited. I am genuinely so excited about this, and I haven't been this excited about a series I'm writing since I did They Don't Know. And so we may actually get a full like ass finished story again because I am genuinely so very excited about this. And it should be up tomorrow. It should be up to, or actually, when you guys hear this, it would be tonight because I'm recording this the 10th. I recorded everything else the 3rd, and then I'm recording this the 10th. And then I've already recorded 13 and 14, but I have to record 15 and 16, and then 17 and 18. And then the one shot for this Friday. Also, I have one shots coming out every Friday now. So it's going to be, they don't, or no, Oracle Week on Tuesdays, and then one shots on Fridays. This one shot is going to be call I don't know actually. I don't know which one this is. So yeah, yeah, okay, bye.